Let's get in the room. Let's do this thing. I am so excited to be with you all today. I am actually trying out a new platform for Byrd Talk, and I want to see what this is going to look like. So I figured it'd be a really great time for us to be able to hop on and have an impromptu special edition of Bird Talk where I have the opportunity to be here with you all and answer your questions on the spot. So if you are here with me, let me know in the chat your name, where you're coming from, what are you excited about today's Q&A. Let me know in real time. Look here, I am going to be navigating all of the things. So be patient with me. But if y'all know someone who needs to be in this room, if you know someone who has been looking for a writing community, if you know someone who's been wanting to write a book, if you know someone who has been looking to publish their book and are in different stages, this is the place to be right now. And if you have questions about the process, go ahead, hop on in here, and I am going to answer all the questions for like the next 30, maybe 45 minutes, depending on how you're feeling today, and who is going to be in this chat. So make sure you tag your people, get them into the room because this is going to be a really, really amazing session. I usually do not go live and do a Q&A session. Those are actually specially designated for my level 2 folks who are serious about writing their books. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on, but these Q&A sessions are usually private. They're behind closed doors and folks have the opportunity to ask questions about their process. So if you are here today, you're special. Tag your people, let them know that you're here. I am live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the places right now. I might be missing a place too. So make sure y'all are interactive. But all of that said, welcome to Byrd Talk Season 3, y'all. This is all about remembering the parts of ourselves the world is actively trying to silence. If y'all don't already know me, it's your girl, Heather Bird here. I am the founder, the visionary, and the CEO of Bird's World and Bird's World Publishing, where we are on a mission to empower 1,000 women of color to write and publish their brilliance so they can turn their message into a movement. All right. And this podcast in particular is a space for us to reclaim our voice, our body, and brilliance, one conversation at a time. You will hear us laugh. You will hear us cry. You will hear us ask the hard questions while we hold space for the real answers. All right. So each episode, I'm going to sit down, usually, each episode, I'm going to sit down with a member of our Sister Resistor community. And together, we are going to be in conversation with one another, right? I ask a lot of my writers because in this space in particular, in Bird's World, one of the things that makes us different is that we heal first. A lot of folks focus on the writing, and the writing is important. But if you're not showing up on the page with your most authentic self, what are we doing? Right? So we want to make sure that we are creating space for all of the foundational pieces to live. And we do that within Bird's World. So we heal first, write second, and we build movements with our message third. And if I'm going to ask my writers to show up, that means I have to show up as well. I have to make the first move and be the example. I've been told that my vulnerability is my superpower and my light. And so I'm creating a space where I can stand in my light and bring others along with me. So I'm super excited to be on this journey with you all, where we have the chance to return to who we were before the world got its hands on us. Look here, I'm going to say that again. This is a journey for us to return to who we were before the world got its hands on us. So y'all ready to get talking? Y'all ready to start this conversation? Y'all ready for some bird talk? Let me know in the chat. Type yes if you are ready for some bird talk, if you're ready for some conversation, if you are ready for this special edition of this live Q&A session. And if this goes well, look here, there's a good chance that I might do this again. So get the people in the room. Let's have a conversation. So if you're here with me, let me know so that I can see you. Joan, I see that you are here. You said I am seated with pen and journal and that you are ready, that you are here. Let's go. Cassie, what up, girl? I see you in the chat. I see that you are here. I am super excited to have you in this space. Look here, this is super dope. So I'm seated with a pen and a journal, and I am ready. That text is so big, but sometimes y'all need to see the things, right? Again, I'm using a new platform, so I'm super excited to be trying it out. Joan said she is ready. Cassie said, let's go. Talking about, I love your hair, whip it back and forth. Yes, I can see my scalp, y'all. So this, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna go live earlier today and I was really excited because when I got done doing my hair, I went into the mirror and I looked and I said, well, hello, scalp. It's shining, it's clean. I'm feeling good. So I literally almost went live just to show y'all my hair. Um, welcome to my brain, y'all. So yes. Tag all the folks, get them in the room. Again, we are here today because I am doing a special edition with Byrd Talk Season 3 Conversations and Remembering. I'm doing a special edition where I'm hopping on and having a special Q&A session with you all so that we can have a conversation about where you are in your process. In the community, one of the things that I do with folks is anytime there is a challenge when it comes to writing, I want to make sure that that challenge is not stopping you. So in the community, I literally tell people to hop in our community because we use Slack for our community. And I literally go, I'm stuck. And I mean it. I want people to hop in there and let me know that they are stuck because that is an important part of the process. If you are stuck, you cannot move forward. And if you cannot move forward, the story and the movement that you are meant to build is going to be stuck within you, and no one's going to know about your brilliance. So, hop in here. Let me know that you're stuck. We're going to actually practice that. You know what I'm saying? If you have a question to put in the chat, what I want you to do is let me know that you have a question by typing in I'm stuck, and I want all the I's, I want all the U's in I'm stuck. I wanted to show up. Let me know that you have a question for me, and I am going to be down to answer questions about any part of the process, y'all. If you have an idea and you're just getting started, but you don't know how to get started, let me know. I love being able to help folks get outside of their head and onto the page so that we have the opportunity to work through it together and really figure out the thing that you're supposed to be writing. I believe that folks have at least 3 to 5 books inside of them, at least. So, how do we get access to those 3 to 5 books? I'm going to give y'all real quick. I see, and I'm stuck in the chat. I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek of my office. So, if you take a look here, you will see that I have, hold on, make sure I don't knock all the things over. You will see that I have a gigantic whiteboard, y'all. Like you can't even see the whole whiteboard because I have 2 screens and this computer screen, but I have a gigantic whiteboard. And so whenever folks get stuck, you best believe I hop on that whiteboard and I make things happen and we brainstorm together, right? So here we go. Let's make it happen. All right. So I already see in the chat. Hold on, I'm gonna fix my camera real quick. I already see in the chat. I have an I'm stuck. So I only have an I'm stuck. I said all the I's and all the U's, yo. But now I'm gonna take it. I'm stuck. So Joan, go ahead and type in your question. Let me know where you are stuck so that we can make some things happen. I might try something out here. Hold on. Let me see if this is going to work, y'all. We're going to explore this together. So, Joan, if you are available, there we go. Okay, I'm stuck. Look here, you. I understood the assignment. um, Joan, I am dropping a link in the chat for you, and I want you to see if you can actually hop on this link. Let me know if you see the link on YouTube, and if you're actually able to click it. I want to try something out real quick. This is impromptu. I don't know if this is going to work, y'all. So please be patient with me. But I'm pretty sure Joan is not the only person that is stuck. So make sure y'all are letting me know by signaling in the chat, I'm stuck. And we going to make some things happen here. Um, so, Joan, let me know if you are able to click on that link that I just dropped in the chat. If not, perfectly fine. No worries. I just wanted to try something out to see if it'll work and I could bring you on stage um, with your voice and or probably more voice because you weren't prepared to be on camera. So let me know if you have a chance to actually see that. If not, we will take I see the link. Are you able to click the link? I'm gonna see if I can bring you on with voice. You don't have to come on video, but I want to see if I can bring you up on stage so that you can ask your question in real time. Okay. No worries, no worries. All right, we will try this out later. I was trying to be all fancy, y'all, because I really like this new platform and I wanted to see all the things that it can do. How about now? Let's see. I don't have anyone in the backstage with me right now. So maybe it did not take. No worries. We will try that out later. But let's go ahead and answer your question, right? So, for those of you all who are joining now, I'm doing a special edition of Byrd Talk Season 3. This is episode 3, and I am doing a live Q&A session. So, if you are in the process of writing your book and you don't know where to begin, you don't know where to go next, and you are looking to write in community, if you're looking to publish, if you are looking to have editing done, like let's have a conversation about where we are. So, Joan, no worries about that link. Go ahead and type your question into the chat so that I can get to answering your question. And I'm pretty sure Joan is not the only one. So I am going to just let y'all know right now. I know y'all got questions, and there's no reason to be shy about this process. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I'm gonna pull up all the things right now to see if I can see you all on some of the other platforms as well as Joan is getting her question together. Aha! Joan has added her question to the chat. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. All right. So her question is, I'm working on a piece and I feel like the first draft is blah, right? Okay. So that's a setup. That's a setup. That's a statement. So, do you want me to talk about how you can kind of work through that first draft of your piece, right? Or what is it that you were looking for? Aha. Okay. So I'm asking the character in the piece questions to unlock more, but I'm falling flat. So, one of the things that you all may or may not have heard me say before, and shout out to one of my mentors, Marty McConnell, who has been really active in my evolutionary writing journey, and being able to explore and play with poems. And so, one of the things that we've always talked about is, what does it look like for you to never run out of things to write about? And what I mean by that is, Joan, for your particular question, if you're asking the character in the piece questions to unlock more, but I'm falling flat, I'm really curious in the type of questions that you were asking, because one of the things that we do in Byrd's World is whatever it is that you wrote, that last line that you wrote, you want to ask it why. And you could literally take this question and expand it out to who, what, when, where, and how, right? But you don't want to move on to the next set of questions until you ask that question at least 5 times. So I will give you an example. If I said the sky is blue, and I was like, what color? If I asked the question as the facilitator, what color is the sky? And you were like, okay, that's not going to take me long to write. The sky is blue. I'm done, right? But we have 5 minutes to write. You would then ask yourself the question, well, why is the sky blue? You're now interrogating the last line that you wrote. So then you would then say, well, why is the sky blue? Well, the sky is blue because that's what my teachers told me in school. Well, why did your teachers tell you that in school? Because scientifically, yada, 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 yada. Well, where did the science come from? Well, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Well, why, blah, 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 woo, wop, bam. Like you can literally keep going and asking and getting a little bit deeper into the question that you're asking by at least asking the question why 5 times. So, Joan, if you're getting stuck and the draft is feeling a bit blah, I would venture to say that you haven't really found what needs to be written yet. And so it's going to require more work to dig a little bit deeper. We've been talking a lot about um, that healing first piece. And part of that healing is being more in touch with your intuition as you're writing. Because for me specifically, I know I am on the right track. I know I'm on the right track when I am writing something when I start cussing, point blank period. When I start writing and what I am writing is looking back at me and I write down something that makes me just go you suck. Like I'm being really honest, like I start cussing at the page. When I start cussing at the page, I know that whatever it is that is coming up for me needs to be explored. So whatever your indicator is when you are writing, be aware of what that is when you're writing, and understanding that that's probably the thing that you need to explore more, but you don't know until you start writing, right? So Joan, feel free to like drop any of the questions that you've been asking your characters in the chat, and maybe we can take it a bit further. um, but that would be my suggestion, making sure that you are using, going back to the basics and using the simple technique of asking the last line that you wrote why, and doing that at least 5 times. See what comes up for you, and then identify which of those pieces are stirring something inside of you that you need to work through further, right? And so, without me being able to take a look at the draft and understanding what things look like and really being able to see you as I'm talking about it, to get that indicator from you that this is what you should be writing about, that's the best answer that I can give you. Um, so, yeah, what I'm writing is not looking back at me. Hold on now. What I'm writing is not looking back at me. Tell me more. I feel like I'm trying to control. Okay. There we go. So, Joan said, what I'm writing is not looking back at me. I feel like I'm trying to control it. I think. I know. Yep. So the piece is called Aisle 13. Um, you're feel because you're trying to control the piece, you're not allowing the piece to speak to you. If you're trying to control the outcome and the outcome is feeling blah, you got to release. You got to release the control. You have to be able to, yes, asking pieces why are really great. You have to be able to release that control and allow your mind and your body to take you places. We can definitely explore this a little bit more in our spaces, in our brainstorm space on Thursday for level 2. Um, but yeah, you have to release that control. You have to allow yourself to just let the piece take you where it needs to take you, not where you think it should go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I'm in the chat, y'all. It's going. It is going. That is a really, really great question. And a really great technique to use when you are stuck. Being able to ask the piece why. And I've told folks this several times, and I will continue to tell folks when I am writing, it takes me at least 3 pages of writing before I realize really what needs to be written. And if I'm not willing to commit to do that work of writing up to 3 pages to give me time to release so that I have the opportunity to really understand what this piece needs to be about, if I don't start cussing by the time I end page 3, I have not been honest with myself, to be completely honest. So that is a really great question. Thank you so much, Joan, for that. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if that is helpful. Kind of what you're hearing back, what's going to be your next step in your writing process. Let me know what that looks like. So that's great. That's really great. Bet. All right. Who is next? Who else is stuck? Who else has a question that they would like to ask tonight around the pieces that they're writing, or the oh, that's my voice. Haha. I'm like checking all the channels. Um Let me know if there are other questions that folks have. Um Cassie said, I love the name Joan. 13 is one of my favorite numbers. That's super dope. That's super dope. Sure, Joan. If you want to ask another question, you know what to do. I'm stuck. Actually, okay, bet. So it looks like we have another question. Cassie, you can go ahead and hop on in there, and then Joan, we can get you all lined up for the next set of questions. Ah, Cassie's question is, what's the book next to you? Well, okay, so that could be a trick question because there are several books around me, as you can see. I know what you're asking me. I'm just being facetious. But yeah, one of my favorite things in here is my bookshelf, and I have so many books. And the community makes fun of me for doing this all the time and turning and pulling a book. But I'm assuming you're talking about this book right here. This all the things are backwards because apparently I didn't turn my mirror on. But this book right here, y'all, this book right here is Lacrissa Granberry's debut poetry collection, Shredding Rugs, and it is coming out next month. Pre-orders are still available. You're adorable, Cassie. Pre-orders are still available for Shredding Rugs. So if you wanted to make sure to get your signed copy of Shredding Rugs, because that's only going to be available for pre-orders, I'm going to drop that link in the chat for y'all. Look here, quick story time. So Lacrissa, if you do not know who Lacrissa Granberry is, look her up. I Googled her for the first time back in like June, July, or August of last year. And when I Googled her, I saw so many amazing things from her. And I genuinely wanted to know who this human being is and how we could be in community together. And so I first met Lacrissa when she came to a 2-day writing workshop that I was doing in Door County, Wisconsin, around memoir writing. And after we met, we've been absolutely inseparable. It's been a beautiful, beautiful journey. And she came to me in November and said, Byrd, I want to write a book. And I want the book to come out in April. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Like, poetry? First of all, this is a book of poems. This is a full book of poems. And when she started out, she had like 90 something pages of poems. and I was like 90 something pages of poems. Working through that November to April and have the book ready, that's a stretch, right? And so, but the book will be ready next month. And so this woman came together and said, I want to make this happen. And she actually put a down payment down to join us for our Her Story retreat back in January. And she was pulling out poems, and Regina and the community was looking at these poems. I was setting the foundation for her so that she knew what to come back to every time it was a decision needed to be made about what poem should be in this book. um yeah, she was up early and up late making things happen, and I've never seen someone work so hard to get a book out. And when I tell you this book feels good, not only tangibly but like when you read it, her honesty. I'm going to read the back of the book for you all, right? So it says, when fierce tenderness and unflinching truth, Lucressa Granberry breaks the silence that has long kept Black girls in the shadows. These poems speak to pain, power, survival, and the freedom found in reclaiming your story. Shredding rugs is a reckoning and a release, a testament to what it means to rise whole and choose yourself anyway. Oof, y'all, y'all. If y'all don't go ahead and grab this book, it is really beautiful. And Lucressa is a multi-genre talented individual. She was currently in a play in Madison, Wisconsin right now. She just got done being in The Color Purple, the musical at the Goodman in Chicago. She's going to be doing the Christmas Carol in Milwaukee. She has written plays, sung in the play. Like, go get your copy of Shredding Rugs right here. Do the thing. Awesome, awesome. Okay, Cassie, go ahead. Hit me with the I'm stuck. And hit me with your question. Also, if you are here and you are a part of this live, let me know in the chat so that I know that you are here. I love to say hi. I love to be in community with folks. Um, yes, Cassie. Cassie said, yes, we love her. Look here. That is an understatement. We absolutely love us some Lucressa. Jones said, I cannot wait for my copy. Ugh, holding this copy made me cry. There were real tears, y'all. There were real tears. uh, yes. She was amazing in The Color Purple. Understatement. Understatement. All right, Cassie, what is your question, my dear? Go ahead and hit me. If others are on here, what we are doing today is we are asking questions. If you are writing a book and you are here and you are at the beginning, the middle, or the end stage of your process, if you are marketing your book, all of the things, you want to be able to hop on here and ask your question. Tony! Hi, Tony. Welcome, my dear. It's so good to see you. Oh, my face just lit up and my cheeks hurt. It's really good to see you. Awesome, awesome. What's the name of the journal again? Which journal, baby? Igniting Ink? Is that what you're talking about? Are you setting me up? You just wanted me to roll back and grab the book. I'm pretty sure that's what you did. Yes. So the journal Igniting Ink came out August of 2024 because we're in 2025. And this is a guided journal with affirmations, prompts, and inspiration to help work you through the process of getting out of your head and onto the page and really focusing in on your mindset so that you can identify the story that you should actually be telling in your journey. So, boom. Yes. Igniting Ink, Igniting Ink. Yes, Tony, please, please, please share your question if you have one. Cassie, Joan, if you also have one, I'll let y'all drop that in the chat. In the meantime, while we are waiting on questions, I will say that if you were here, whether live or watching the replay, a commercial, every other week I go live here on all the platforms, right? And we come together, and I bring one of our community members to be in conversation with each other for season 3 of Byrd Talk. On the off Tuesdays of Byrd Talk, I do a I do an open. I was trying to find the right article. I do an open house, a virtual open house, and this is a space for all of us to be able to come together and meet each other, write together in our writing journey. And so next week, on what is that, September 23rd, I actually have a hard time adding sixes and seven, y'all. It's a fun fact about me. Um, so, if you are interested in learning more about Bird's World, learning more about what we do, how we do it, how we write in community, go ahead and register for the open house. That is a really great place for you all to come together and see what we do, right? It's a really, really, absolutely beautiful space for us to be able to come together and support one another. And this space is open to all. So no matter where you are in your process of your writing, go ahead, join us, and we can uh, move you forward in your writing journey. So cool beans, cool beans, cool beans. Any other questions before I hop off, y'all? I'm not gonna belabor if folks don't have questions. I really just wanted to create space for us to be able to come together and have a conversation, be honest about where we are in our writing. And I don't believe in folks staying stuck. I believe in us being able to move folks out of that space of being stuck. So, any questions? Going once? Ha 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 ha. Ah, okay, yay, Tony. I was like, please hop in here. It's been so long. Okay. So in the chat, shout out to you, Tony, for joining us on YouTube. So it said the last time we were together, I expressed a desire to write a memoir. I feel called to write the lessons I'm learning from my mother as she is living with dementia. Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. I absolutely when we were last together, we were actually last together during an open house. And when I tell you, your presence has stayed with me since that open house, Joan and I um, have talked about you. And yeah, your writing is something special. It is something really, really special. So I'm really glad that you're here. And thinking about you and this project, I am actually running a memoir writing intensive. And so, one of the things that I had the opportunity to do this year is teach a week long memoir writing class in Door County, Wisconsin. And as an extension of that class, I was able to work with folks twice a week to help move them along on their memoir writing journey. I was like memoir, memoir, memoir writing journey. And one of our writers is actually also writing a memoir in honor of her mother, who had dementia and I believe full set Alzheimer's. Hopefully I'm remembering this correctly. And she is recalling all of the stories that came from it. And she wants to focus on the funny stories, right? And so, what are the things that they got to share together? And so, it would be dope to have you a part of that group. Um, because that just the stories that you all can share to pull all the things together would be super dope, right? So the question that Tony has is, what is the way I can select possible lessons? Ooh, that's a really good question. And shout out to my resources. um, I love being able to just pull things from my office when I need them. So one of the things that I did in the memoir class is I had folks, how do I phrase this? I had folks identify the different stories that they can tell. And all of these are surrounded by a theme. Okay. And within that theme, I'm huge about being able to have our writings be extensions of snapshots. So if you think about a Polaroid, if you think about, I always use Polaroid, but if you think about any camera, any photo you've ever taken, that's usually a still shot before lives were a thing, right? But even live photos are limited. But if you think about a snapshot from a Polaroid, for instance, you have this moment that you have captured, and there's so much that happened before the photo was taken, while the photo was being taken, and right after that particular snapshot was taken. And so you have the opportunity to decide on which direction you want to be able to go with that particular snapshot. And so I developed this snapshot web that we actually used in the memoir writing workshop, where in the middle of the circle is the theme. And you want to identify, out of all the lessons that you learned, there's going to be a theme that you have, right? So what is that theme? What does that look like? And then once you identify that theme, branching out to three different areas. So you'll see here theme, and then we have area 1, area 2, area 3. What are the three main core memories that you have from that theme, from that lesson, right? Um, what are three main lessons that you can pull into that? And then outside of that, you have um, three more for each, right? So here's story number 1. Here are some sub stories, right? So being able to work within a snapshot in this web really allows for you to see all of the stories that you have. You could also be like me and get down with a whiteboard, right? You don't know which stories you should select until you know what stories you actually have. So with that, get old school, bust out some sticky notes. You know what I'm saying? Get a whiteboard and begin to write down all of the stories that you have. If you haven't done this already, I feel like I've told you to write out all the stories you have. Write out all of the stories that you have. And from there, begin to categorize what you're seeing, and then that will lead you into the direction of being able to see where some of the substantial amount of stories live in a specific category, or if there's a category you really want to hone in on, being able to say, okay, I need some more stories, right? So that will get your brain going. So the way that you could select the possible lessons is a brainstorming, just put it all out there to see what you have. Again, you want to be able to get out of your head and onto the page, see everything that you have, and then be able to categorize what you have to determine what lessons. That's what I thought. Okay, I was like, this sounds familiar, Tony. Um, Being able to identify which ones you want to go with. Once you have that information, being able to do some sort of webbing to figure out the snapshots that you really want to focus in on. So the theme goes in the middle, and then you have three core lessons or memories that exist that surround that theme. And then within one of those three core memories, you have three stories that are associated with them. And you can keep going and going and going until you want to, stop or make sense, or, cut down once you're in the editing process. But yeah. So if I suggested it last time, were you able to do it? Like, what? Tell me a little bit more about what that process was like for you. Were you able to do that? Did you get stuck in places? Right. But that's a really good question. I was like, as I was saying it, I was like, this sounds familiar. I feel like I have had this conversation with Tony before. And I get it. Sometimes, you leave and you come back. Things you distract us for several reasons. Life be life in, right? So if you hadn't gotten a chance to actually um, do that work yet, that's perfectly fine, right? So really, really good question, Tony. Really great question. Awesome, awesome. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know in the chat if that was helpful for you. If you have a follow up question, I'll give it like couple more minutes. And if no one else hops on, Cassie, I don't think I ever saw your question. if you had one, my dear, or you were just asking about the books and the journals. But yeah, ugh, this has been good. Y'all have asked some really great questions. While I'm waiting to hear back from Tony, I do want to let you all know. I think I already put shredding rugs in the link to shredding rugs. Did I put that in the chat? I believe I did. I did. Okay. So you all got the link for shredding rugs. Again, that comes out next month. So if you all want to have a signed copy of that, you want to make sure that you get a hold of that. Again, Lacrissa Granberry's book, Shredding Rugs, is absolutely amazing. You definitely want to get your copy of that. Also, tomorrow, if you all are available, I will be doing a live virtual fireside chat with none other than the absolutely amazing, magical, talented Mallory Raven Ellen Backstrom. She is one of my favorite people on the entire planet. And we are going to be having conversations with each other. It is called When Fairy Tales Heal, How Magic, Storytelling, and Wellness Collide. So right now the tickets are sold out. However, you can always check this link um, to see if any tickets open up. And if I hear anything, I will definitely let you all know. So make sure y'all check that out as well. Oh, I missed that. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't miss it. You just put that in there. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Tony said I haven't done that yet. I'm still capturing the treasured moments I still am having with her. Yes, that is real. Being present in that moment is really, really important. Joan, shout out to you because I see what you're doing here in terms of talking about how I use voice memos. And so, any opportunity that you get, Tony, to have conversations with your mother and just whether it's like a formal interview or you just want to have conversations with her, record the conversations. Um, One that's priceless because when she is no longer here and has transitioned, you'll still be able to have her voice, and to be able to hear those stories will definitely be a tearjerker. So something for you to consider definitely is being able to voice record those interviews or conversations that you're having with your mother that you can capture later in a memoir. I will say as well, while you are actively working on being in the moment, also make sure that you are still in the act of writing, because as you're writing, there are going to be questions that are going to come up for you. And if there's going to be a time where you're no longer going to be able to ask her those questions that you have as you're writing, so you want to be able to take advantage of that as well, right? So try to see if you can find a healthy rhythm between both, right? Being present and being in the moment where you still get to ask her questions and understanding what questions you should ask because you're actively in the writing process, and interrogating that, right? So I'm really glad that was helpful, Tony. Thank you so much for just being here and for being present, and for asking that question. It's really, really good to see you. um, Joan said, can I talk about how I use voice memos? Look here, me and voice memos are friends. We might be besties. My voice memos might know me better than other people. At least they be in my mind a lot more than other people. And so I'm someone who is a consistent overthinker. And so the ways in which I get out of my head and onto the page is using voice memos. Because sometimes I want to be able to write first. However, sometimes my mind works faster than my hand can catch up. I write first as much as I possibly can, but if it's too much, I will talk it out. So I will be quick to turn on my voice recorder and just talk out what it is I am thinking. And so that I'm not concerned with whether or not I am going to get all the things down, talking it and recording it helps me out a lot, especially when I don't know where I'm going. When I have a question and I have no clue where this is going to end up, I activate my voice recordings and I make that happen. And here's the thing that most people probably forget to do. Once you voice record, be in the habit of going back to your voice recordings and listening, because I am in the process. My community knows this right now. I am in the process of being more of an observer. I have very much been go 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 these past 3 4 years, and being very dedicated to furthering the movement within Byrd's world. And at the same time, I have not had the space to be present. So, what does it look like for me to pause and be an observer, right? And with being an observer means going back and listening to all of my past lives, going back and taking a look at my past writings, taking the opportunity to play back past recordings and be a recipient of the conversations that I've been having with myself or with others. Be in conversation with the things that I've written down in my journal. So having the opportunity to witness is really really important. So yeah, that is one of the ways that I utilize my voice recorder, and not only utilize the voice recorder but make sure I go back and actually listen, because it's I can do all that work and maybe have a couple of like aha moments or bird seeds that exist while talking it through. I don't know if y'all have ever done this, but when you write, um, there is a moment where you go back and read it. And for me, I'm like, oh, I wrote that. Damn. Like, okay, Heather, like, allow yourself to be witnessed. Allow yourself to be an observer of your own magic and your brilliance and your badassery. Like, allow that to take place, because that's an important part of the process. Um, Wondering how Heather suggests using voice memo to capture ideas after a visit with someone whose story you want to capture. If I'm understanding your question correctly, Joan, you're asking how I use voice memos after the recording has actually taken place. I think it's a at least a 3-step process. Once you record, you want to first be able to witness. I was just talking about this, right? Be an observer, just witness. So taking the time to actually listen to the recording, full out, not no notes, no nothing, just listen. Be an observer, right? Was that a thumb that just like popped up somewhere? Oh, it did. Hi, thumb. Be an observer. Second round, you want to listen to it. I think this is balloons. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. This is one, this is two. So, and you want to celebrate every time you do this, right? So it's really fun that this is happening. So the second thing you want to be able to do is listen to it again and then begin to take notes, right? So first you're an observer, second you are taking notes and being more of a researcher or like being more curious, and then third you want to then be able to see where this all lands in the larger picture story that you're telling, right? So yeah, that's a really really great question. um Jones said, Tony, I can't wait to read the memoir you're writing, especially the notes along the way. Yes, yes. Being a part of that journey is something that's going to be really, really beautiful. So, yes, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hopping on today. This has been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation. I have enjoyed all of it. I really want to see you win. Like, hands down, I want to see you win. If you are stuck, one of the things that I do on a monthly basis, the first Saturday of the month, I come together and host a live Q&A session on Zoom, where we come together and we move you, like I said, out of your head and onto the page and into action. And so, if ever you are in this process and you go, I'm stuck, or if you're as goofy and quirky as I am, you say, I'm stuck, then you know that Q&A session is the place that you need to be. So, if you are interested in being a part of the Q&A session, definitely let me know. I did not have that link pulled up. Shame on me. Um, I don't think I can find it fast enough. So if a Q&A session is where you feel like you need to be, you have the opportunity to be able to join us for like $47. Hopping in that space and being a part of that Q&A session. This is why I wanted to be able to hop on here and let folks know part of what we do. Aha, found it. No, I did not find it. I will post it in the show notes and in the comment section so that you all have that. Thank y'all so much. Like, seriously, thank y'all so much for being here. Um, I am beyond grateful that you all chose to share your time with me today. I do not take that for granted at all. And I want to make sure to let y'all know join us next week for our open house. If you have more questions, you can always join us for our Q&A session the first Saturday of every month. Tomorrow, I will be going live and having a fireside chat with Mallory Raven Ellen Backstrom, When Fairy Tales Heal, How Magic Storytelling and Wellness Collide. And look here, make sure y'all get y'all copy of Shredding Rugs. You do not want to miss being a part of this movement. So whether you like poetry or you know someone who does, you can always buy this book for yourself and buy it for a friend. All right. So make sure y'all do that. And if you know someone who is on their writing journey and needs a little bit of guidance to move forward in their journey, make sure you all get your copy of Igniting Ink. Again, is a 30-day journey with affirmations, prompts, and inspiration to help move you forward in your journey to make sure that you are on the right path and you have the proper support that you need. So, with that, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Cassie. I really, really appreciate y'all being here. Yes, Tony, I am so grateful for the reconnection. Please don't be a stranger. I am around, right? We can definitely talk too. So, with that, thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all already know what it is. Until next time, that book said, I don't want to stand up any longer. Um, until next time, I want to encourage y'all to keep reading, keep writing, and as always, keep flying, y'all.